Hello, my friends. I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I hope everything in your world is fan-frickin-tastic. Everything here is going pretty darn well. It's Friday, and I've been busy this week working on the model. Check this out. I'm going to put up on the screen here a bit of the model, and I've really made some progress. As you can see, I changed the shape of the internal structure of the handle. What you can't see in that diagram is, or in that representation, is that I actually made like a mortise and tenon joint, is what it would be called in woodworking. But I made a standoff on the top of this piece that will go into a recess on the bottom to help give this joint some strength, because that's going to be the thing. So looking at the piece, you can see I've got some modeling done of the back piece, what I'm calling the hammer assembly. I've got some additional modeling that I did on the actual frame piece, and I have what I'm currently calling the barrel shroud, which is the front capture piece that's going to, I've got to design a barrel on that somehow. But what I've worked on today is actually a locking mechanism that will go into this assembly to keep the cylinder. That's what this is called in a revolver. This is the cylinder. It'll keep the cylinder from doing this. Okay? So if you look here, you can see that I've essentially come up with a little slide mechanism, and these two pieces will mate together inside of a slot, and then there'll be a pin, a pin spring pushing this whole assembly forward once it's latched. So that's what we've got here. And oh, cool, that just came right off. I love it when the support material comes right off. Oh, wow, this actually turned out better than I expected. I'll see if I can get some pictures. What I've realized is I do this modeling just kind of whenever I have a chance. I designed this piece here, these two pieces, I designed today during my lunch break. And the problem is I don't know what sort of screws I have to join these components together when I'm at work, so I take wild guesses, and I think I guessed incorrectly. I have screws. These are all like computer screws and stuff. But the problem is, I think that what I attempted to do here, I can't light that better so that you can see it. There's a tiny little recess where the head of the screw will fit down in, and that's a decent size, but then the actual hole here is too big. But that's okay. I mean, these things took a little less than 20 minutes, like 16 minutes, and that's dense. I did these at like 50% infill because they're not the exact size. I'm going to have to do a significant amount of sanding to get these pieces in particular, similar to the way these pieces were first made. These are going to be some precision fit pieces, and this is how most weapons were manufactured a long time ago. These pieces would all have to be hand fit, which means there's going to be a slot in this piece that this will fit in, which will lock this in place like such. That slot has a certain size radius for this piece to fit in. That slot has a certain depth. There's a little step on the back of this slide that will go into that slot, and that has to fit. So this is longer than it needs to be currently because I need to have the ability to sand it down to be a perfect fit. So I know that these aren't perfect currently. They will be. They will be soonish. I just wanted to print these pieces quickly to see, could I even find a screw that would work for this, and it's looking like no. The screw, let me see here. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. The screw I had picked out that I thought might work is definitely too small. That's okay. The cool part about this is, like I said, 16 minutes to print these. I can go change this model in a matter of seconds, reprint, and then put it back together, and I have a functioning piece. So that's the awesome part about this whole process. I told you I was going to do all this stuff in wood. I lied. It's so much easier for me doing something like this to visualize it on the screen I've never been a sculptor. Like, I can't take this piece of wood and turn it into a bear. I don't even know how to do that. I wouldn't even know where to begin doing that. I mean, I could make a bear cutout, but it would just be a 2D shape that I'm cutting on a 3D object. Whereas this is completely 3D shapes. I put some knurls on here, so it's like a finger slide. Essentially, this will be, you know, like the barrel release, or the cylinder release, you'll pull back on it, and then when you let go, it slings forward. So I wanted to have little knurls on it so that, you know, it's supposed to look and feel like a real working weapon. And tell you what, though, I'm having a blast doing this. Like, this is so much fun. I haven't really used my printer. I've used my printer for practical stuff until this. Practical stuff meaning I've made a knob for my air compressor. I've modeled, but I haven't made a knob yet for my toaster oven. I made, vacuum connectors for my tools. But this is the first time I've played with it. Just played for the sake of playing. And it's funny because, like, when I wanted to get a 3D printer, I thought, I don't want to just make trinkets. And because that's the perception of what the 3D printer is good for. It's just making trinkets. And it's not. It's so much more cool to do stuff like I'm making a space gun. And honestly, will I ever use this in a video? Well, probably. I mean, obviously I'll use it here. Will I ever make a movie with it? I don't know. You know, maybe I'll make some webisodes or something. But I'm having just a blast making the thing. Who knows? Maybe somebody will say, hey, can I use that gun in my movie? And I'll say, sure, here you go. Got a package today. I know what this is. This isn't like a gift. Oh, I haven't paid yet. I am paying for this. But this is from our good friend Levi, the garage movie guy. I put out a request recently and said, hey, anybody have any GoPros they want to sell me? And he said, yes. Can't wait to see what kind of cool videos you make with this. If you ever need some editing or post-production, let me know. Levi. I said, anybody have any old GoPros they want to get rid of? And Levi hooked it up. I've got a hand grip thingy. I've got a clippy grip thingy. I've got a pipey thingy, a suction cup. Oh, we can do some car vlogging. Some sort of strappy stuff. This is an older model. This is a GoPro Hero Plus LCD. This is like, I don't know, 2nd gen or something GoPro. So, older model. Totally fine for what I want to do right now. The main thing is, I don't know that I want to spend $500 on a new GoPro or $299 or whatever the models are now. So I wanted one that I can experiment with in terms of putting it places and seeing if the form factor is something that I want to use in future projects. So I wanted to pick up something inexpensive and finding a used GoPro, obviously. So thank you, Levi. Thank you for hooking it up. Yeah, I will send you that checkout stat. Thank you guys for being here as always. I hope you have a good weekend. I hope to have a video up this weekend. I hate saying that, because if it doesn't come true, then I'm going to feel bad. But I'm going to try really hard to put something out this weekend. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. If not, I'll see you Monday.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from ufl.edu. I guess that's the University of Florida. I don't know. Do sharks have tongues? Sharks have a tongue referred to as a basial. The basial is a small, thick piece of cartilage located on the floor of the mouth of sharks and other fishes. It appears to be useless for most sharks, with the exception of the cookie cutter shark. That's a thing.